Okay, so there are very few places in our country where we can speak the truth. If I were to speak the truth at my office, I would lose my job. And at home, if I speak the truth, mom cries. And it is in platforms like these that we get the opportunity to speak the truth and reflect, because the worst that can happen is they won't invite you again. So, in the spirit of taking that risk, let me share with you all three simple truths from my life, and let's see what happens from there. So, in the late 1980s, a couple in South India, Tamil Nadu, fell in love, and 1 year later, I happened. And when I happened, I was born with this extra growth in the spinal cord. The primary health center there did not have enough equipment to do an emergency surgery, and I ended up with this disability. And along with disability come with two beautiful words. One, the word called karma. And two, there is the auntie in your life. She will say, Ayyo. Okay, I hear that in every life there is a villain. And in my life, that villain is the auntie next door to my house. Okay, in days where there was no Orkut, no Facebook, no Twitter, she follows me. In fact, she's the only woman who has followed me all life. Now, she went, Ayyo, bad karma, this is what happened. Those were not days where there were interesting words for people with disabilities. I mean, right now there are words such as physically challenged, okay, differently abled and all that. It's like calling a single guy romantically challenged and so on and so forth. Okay, we just changed the name. One of the problem in our country is we just changed the name and we think the problem is over. But any which ways, when this whole drama was happening, my father did the best thing possible. He took my mother and came down to a whole new state, which is the then Andhra Pradesh and now Telangana. And forget learning language and all that. I had a wonderful experience of not being admitted into any schools at all. Because of my medical condition, I would be stinking in the classroom. Parents would come down and complain to the principal. Principal would call my father and they would have a nice conversation. And my dad would say, we have to leave the school. And I was like, yes. Okay. And that's the beauty of being innocent and naive. And that happened for 8 years. Over 10 schools, over 10 years, I changed 8 schools. And look at the irony of life. When I was born with this disability, God also gave me an extraordinary passion for cricket. Extraordinary passion. And one fine day, with 10th board exams to come, I was watching this cricket match. My dad, who is usually a very nice person, he came down to me. He was like, go study. And I was like, Dad, please don't worry. I will get state first rank. Don't worry. Just let me watch the cricket match. And when the results came, I got state first. But from the bottom, just because a person on a wheelchair is sitting and telling does not mean it is inspiring. That is another problem in our country. The classic definition of inspiration. In our country, inspiration is when someone suffers and they overcome that suffering, they immediately become a role model. We will go ahead and say, look at that person. He has suffered or she has suffered. They have overcome the suffering. So you also suffer. You will also overcome the suffering. You will also become a role model. Inspiration is not repetition of suffering. True inspiration is asking, why is the suffering existing in the first place? But any which ways, those thoughts came in much later into my head. And when I got my 10th class marks and I passed social with 1 mark, my dad looked at it and he was angry. My mother cried. My sister wanted to disown me. And they asked me, what do you want to do next? And I was like, IAS, IPS, lantidi kakunda. Something basic I would go ahead and do. I say, and look at the process of decision making also, right? In crucial years of life, I'm very happy when I look at the profiles of the speakers here, people are studying different subjects. Back then, I passed social with 1 mark. My dad said history, economics, commerce not allowed. People believed that if you study civics, economics, commerce, you won't get married in the city. And I am a South Indian vegetarian Brahmin, so you can't study BPC because you have to cut cockroaches. So the only option that was left was MPC. Okay, we did decisions by process of elimination, not by passion. Okay, and by forcibly I was put into a college called Sri Chaitanya Narayana. They beat the hell out of me and I came home running and I would still watch cricket match. And this time my dad got angry and I said, Dad, I'll get state first, don't worry. And he got even angrier. Last time I trusted you. And then he looked at the TV and he said, on the March of 21st, 2001, I looked at the TV and I said, as soon as this batsman gets out, I will go ahead and study. That batsman batted for 3 days. He was VVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid. And it was a famous Kolkata test. Okay, and then I realized, in our country we worship Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, we worship Virat Kohli. They are absolutely God-gifted, talented people. But when you look at sheer Rahul Dravid, for example, like you said, the talent was not really visible, but he stuck it out there. And watching him bat that time for 3 days, and when he got out, Indian team felt happy. Just imagine our own team feeling happy. Abba, aja. Okay, and just sit down. And I realized if that guy can stand in the sun, not score, okay, and frustrate the hell out of the whole thing, I can study my physics textbook and stick out with it. Every day I treated like a cricket ball and thought I am scoring. And luckily in class 12th, I ended up scoring state first in the engineering entrance exam from the top only. Okay. And now when I had to go ahead and make a decision, okay, simple decision. Again, look at, no matter what you achieve, parental process of decision making is very innovative and interesting. So when I got state first rank in MSET, my father said he will do Usmania University Computer Science. Why Usmania University? Close to the house. Why computer science? You can sit and work. Okay, that is all. That no passion, no process of elimination also this time. Luck worked out here and there, and finally I went out to this beautiful college called CBIT. And then I graduated from that college. And when I graduated, one fine day, I went to my dad and he said, Dad, now I want to pursue higher education and I want to go ahead and study in America. And he laughed. So I said, Dad, I'm serious. And he got serious and I laughed. Okay, and so I went to my mom, I convinced her, and over a period of time there were huge fights. I said, I graduated as a gold medalist, I deserve to go ahead and pursue what I want to do, and so on and so forth. There were fights, remotes flew in the air, and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, auntie put a status on Facebook saying, in this family there are fights, 20 aunties liked it, 30 aunties commented on it. Okay, and society started ragging. But nevertheless, I was adamant that I would go ahead and study. Finally, I took my GRE exam. I applied to 6 schools, got admitted into all the 6 schools, including Stanford University. University of Wisconsin-Madison was the one that gave me an admit with a scholarship. And then when I went in, I started to think, why on earth is that when in our country we dream, there is a lot of criticism around on it, especially among the marginalized community. People have ready-made opinions on whether your dream is possible or not. It's like a monkey that is not able to reach a banana, telling the other monkey you are a monkey and you can't reach that banana. Okay, it's okay. The monkey wants the banana, let it try. So all of this started getting into my head. And when I went into the US on a beautiful day, when I was crossing the street, I saw this advertisement for skydiving. And one of the things that I have done all my life is celebrate my mom's birthday in a big way. That was the first time I was out of the country and I wanted to celebrate it in a big way. So in an emotional moment, I paid, saying that I will go ahead and skydive. I jumped because I paid. Okay, otherwise my dad would have pushed me out, saying that you have paid this much, you are wasting this much money. When I got down, in fact, in that entire skydiving picture, this is the only picture I am smiling. I don't put the video at all. Okay, this is the only picture. It was screenshotted where I was smiling. When I got down, my friend had enough common sense to put an Indian flag in my hand, and we both screamed, saying this is for the cause of people with disabilities in India. And that video went viral. They were like, if this guy can jump out of a plane, we can do anything. Again, the wrong ideas. Okay, because before that, I made a fantastic video showing how infrastructure access can transform people's lives, especially those with disabilities, and how when US did it, made my life independent and better, and India should do it. I made a fantastic video and put it on YouTube. 2 people watched it, me and my friend. But when we went ahead and did this masala of jumping from the sky, that went viral. They were like, "Arey, he jumped from the sky. You can study." Actually, studying is the tougher part. And then I started to wonder what is really happening with this world. Why are they getting the wrong messages in the right way and the right messages in the wrong way? So I started to wonder where exactly is this core concept of disability coming from, the negative associations coming from, and so on. And that brought this person into my life, Krishna. And when I read the Bhagavad Gita, it said life is composed of 5 elements: sky, earth, water, fire, and air. And only a person with entire spinal cord can experience it fully. I took it personally because it was on spinal cord at the end of the day. So for sky, I went after skydiving. And for earth, I went to the oldest sediments in earth called the Grand Canyon, took a helicopter, went inside, stayed there. What happened? Nothing happened. My manager got upset. So for water, we wanted to do really big. Initially, I was thinking, let's do scuba diving. But my friend suggested that honeymoon couples would do that. Think big. And then I asked, so what is your big? He said, Pacific Ocean will come from this side. Atlantic Ocean will come from the other side. You jump at the intersection. I was like, initially I thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. And then I started Googling, is it really possible? And then I found out that there was a guy who actually did that. And he went all the way to Antarctica and he did that in 1980s. And I emailed that guy saying, why? I mean, why? What happened? What went wrong? Okay. Why would you just walk to the South Pole, walk to the Antarctic continent, and who is paying for all this? Okay, and he wrote a beautiful email to me saying that I wanted to walk to the South Pole because the South Pole is there. I just didn't understand what that meant. And I said, what was the whole point of doing it? I wrote him another email saying, what was the whole point of walking? And then he gave me the response which shocked me. Apparently, when he came back from the South Pole after walking, he was diagnosed with skin cancer. And I was like, probably well deserved. Okay, but then the world started to wonder, why did he get skin cancer when he had gone ahead and walked to Antarctica? And that is the moment people realized that he was exposed to ozone, ultraviolet rays, and the ozone layer was thinning, and the world started talking about global warming. One man's unnecessary, irrelevant walk from the perspective of the world really got the conversation going on climate change all those years back. That absolutely inspired me, and I thought maybe I should also do something. So I teamed up with him. And when he was going on his next expedition, I checked with him whether I can travel. He said I have to live in the Andes Mountains for 1 month to prove myself. So I went to the Andes. I took a flight from here to Brazil to Argentina. In the Andes Mountains, I lived for 1 month. And look at what happened. If you look at this picture, I lived there for 1 month training and trying to live on the Antarctic continent, figure out what could be the logistical challenges and everything. And when the go-ahead was given, we realized that Antarctica continent was cold. And we have to go ahead and wear gloves. And when we wear gloves, we can't hold the crutches. And we can't hold crutches, I can't walk. But that does not mean I give up. I decided to take revenge on Britishers. I told that we carried your country for 200 years. You got to carry me into the continent. Okay. There is no failing. There is only forwarding. Okay. One of the biggest instruments some people have is mouth. As long as you can talk your way out of some things, things will happen. So he carried me. Then I had fun taking revenge on all the Britishers. Finally, we went into the South Pole, and on Shivaratri day, at the intersection of the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, I took a plunge and then went into the Antarctic continent. Became the first Indian with a disability to go ahead and eat curd rice and avocado pickle at the continent. And when I came back, the media was there. They asked Sai, was it cold? Okay. This is the kind of question people ask. And when I came back to my apartment, the auntie said, I always knew. Okay. I always knew there was a spark in you. Okay. And that is the point that you need to understand. But this is a journey, and I want to close off with 3 things. Today, if I have to go ahead and tell you all 3 people I am most scared of. 3 people I am most scared of. One is the Swiggy person. I live on the second floor, and when the Swiggy person comes down, he'll be like, Bhaiya, niche aao. And I say, Bhai, aa nahi sakta. He thinks I have attitude. Okay. How do I tell him? It is not attitude. Main sach mein aa nahi sakta. Okay. When I go into a movie theater, and when the India-Pakistan battle was happening, and I went on to watch a movie theater, I was comfortably sitting on the popcorn. Mukesh came, sold 2 bangles. Okay. And all of that happened. Suddenly, Janagana Mana was played. And everybody stood up. I can't stand up. And I heard a voice from the behind, hey, Pakistani, Urja. Okay. Then I went into a not-for-profit organization. They were asking me a beautiful question. They were like, the LGBTQ movement has taken off. Sai, why do you think the disability movement has not taken? I was like, it requires movement. Okay. Fundamentally, it requires movement. Okay. Don't compare the two organizations. Okay. I went into an interview. They say, walk me through the resume. Okay. Can we sit and talk? Okay. Would that be okay? Okay, a girl who is special in my life, she says, you have never stood up for me. After all this time, okay, always. Look at this in our language, in our attitude, in our entire culture, in our actions. Okay, we have unknowingly inserted a lack of understanding of another person's context. It was a beautiful viewpoint when madam said that there is no outrage. Okay, forget not having an outrage. We are not even enough caring about anyone else apart from our world, and that is okay. But what I want to tell you is a crucial piece of ingredient is that when you fail and when you go forward, please ensure that you have some humor left in your life. If I can give you something today, it should be humorous, because there are a lot of people in the world who are so caught up about what went wrong and why they are the way they are that they forget to live the day for the little joys that they have at that moment. And I have realized through my life that having a sense of humor allows you to go forward and fail proudly. And the day you laugh at your own failure, that is the biggest success. And if the forward part of my life, and I'll close with this thought, is not what I accomplished, it is a simple truth that on 10 years of my life at high school, which is 3,000 days multiplied by 2, 6,000 times, my mom put me on a cycle and drove me to the school each day, every day. My father was humiliated by almost 8 principals saying that your son does not deserve to go ahead and study because other parents are feeling uncomfortable. But 6,000 times they turned up. And even as they turned up 6,000 times, we were a happy family because we enjoyed the little things of life, including cricket, having fun and laughing at the absurd things that life is. So I wish you all the humor and happiness in life, and hopefully someday you will come in and tell that failure is inevitable. But have you been happy through that process is what will define your entire life.